Hello guys, so I've brought another story and this also involves this one is actually shocking to me because it's about a Nigerian couple who were caught in the US doing ATM fraud, and the shocking thing was that they were actually committing this crime with a wife, and a wife has a baby. The man jailed, but the only reason why the woman was not jailed was because of the fact that she had a baby. Guys, let's dive into this story. Hello everybody, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as that mom of 5 and also known as TMO5 Kanduko. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for always coming back. And if you are yet to subscribe, do not hesitate to click on the subscribe button. So I'm going to put a screenshot of the story here and I'm going to read it and also add a few things as we go along. So according to the Gazette, it says here that husband gets 9 years in jail as US officials nab Nigerian couple over $2.7 million benefit fraud. The judge has also ordered that Mr. Okafor be handed over to immigration authorities upon completion of his sentence in 2029 to be deported to Nigeria. So this news was reported on the 18th of June of this year. So let's dive down into the story. So a Nigerian man named Promise Okafor is serving 9 years in federal prison in the United States after he was arrested alongside his wife Joyce Emengini in a multi-state unemployment benefit scam that netted them over $2.7 million. This came after they were arrested by Homeland Security agents at Dallas Fort Worth International Airport in March 2021 with over 200 ATM cards. Yes, you heard right, 200 ATM cards, which could have been taken out with people's name allegedly, which alerted authorities and prompted an advanced investigation of the couple. According to legal findings cited by People's Gazette, authorities also seized phones and laptops from the couple during their arrest, which contained, in quotes, concrete evidence revealing that both Mr. Okafor and his wife had participated in an elaborate unemployment benefit fraud. In a sworn affidavit, James Buck, a special agent with the Department of Labor and Office of Inspector General, testified that the couple used various fake identities to apply for dozens of unemployment insurance debit cards in several states. Mr. Buck also claimed that the couple was captured on ATMs across several states, including Ohio, Nevada, California, Virginia, and Arizona, showing the duo using the fraudulently obtained debit cards and stealing close to $3 million through the scheme. Wow. Husband and wife. However, as part of a deal arrangement, only Mr. Okafor was indicted by prosecutors in September 2022 to allow his wife to take care of their 9-month-old child. It was unclear whether his wife had been charged or not. Honestly, when I read that part, I was like, no, she took part in that crime. They should have taken that child from her and let her go serve her time in jail. Because she knew she had a child, but she still considered committing the crime with her husband. But yeah, a 9-month-old child saved her. So he pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and failure to appear after a pretrial hearing in December of the same year. So on the 10th of April 2023, Mr. Okafor was sentenced to 108 months in prison by Judge Mark Pittman of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Texas. The court ordered Mr. Okafor to pay the $2.7 million in fraud proceeds he earned through the scam, including $141,542.16 to the Arizona State Department of Employment Security, Office of Inspector General, and another $35,000 to the Department of Job and Family Services in Ohio. He was also ordered to pay almost $2.2 million to California's EDD Investigation Division and also pay almost $550,000 to the Department of Employment Security Division Benefits Integrity Program in Nevada. Put all the money for there. Put all the money there. And also almost $18,000 to the Virginia Employment Commission. So it's as if they still have that money he chopped. That money he was able to scam. I think they were able to recover that money, hence why they're asking him to pay all of this money back to all of this department. I love this. I love this. Let's move on. The judge also ordered that Mr. Okafor be handed over to immigration authorities upon completion of his sentence in 2029 to be deported back to Nigeria. Months into his sentence, Mr. Okafor is now fighting for early release. Can you imagine? Early release. However, a judge recently denied a motion from the Nigerian for such release and he is on course to complete the full term of his sentence, with a release date scheduled for 2029. So that's the story there as I found it on People's Gazette, and I was like, wow. So what does this story reminds you of? What does this story remind you of? So for me, this story reminds me of a certain senator in Nigeria. It was a lawyer who allegedly scammed someone in the United States and then went back to Nigeria, took up a political role, and is like maybe the chairman of the ethics committee in the House of Senate in Nigeria. So now, what is the impact of precious actions to Nigerians in diaspora? Guys, the reason why I bring stories like this is mainly because these things happen in diaspora, and then it is not just about the person who committed a fraud or who committed this crime. It's going to affect that community in total. It's going to affect the community of that person, like Nigerians in that community. So the impact is this: there's going to be reinforced stereotypes and stigma. Their crime reinforce the negative stereotypes that Nigerians are scammers or fraudsters. Yes, this is one of the impact that this guy's action is going to have on Nigerians in diaspora. This can lead to unfair suspicion towards innocent Nigerians in everyday settings, e.g., banking, housing, jobs, and this is right. Number two impact on Nigerians in diaspora will be stricter immigration scrutiny. Look at what is happening in the UK. Look at what is happening in the US. US immigration officials may increase vetting and background checks for Nigerian applicants. I've actually started seeing now that they are saying that if you want to apply for any sort of visa, you need to showcase, you need to bring all of your social media, and so they would start go and start digging. Visas, green cards, and asylum applications from Nigerians might face longer processing times or more rejections due to increased caution. Yeah, these are the impact that Nigerians are going to be facing with in diaspora. It doesn't have to be in the US alone, it could be in the UK as well, because Nigerians in the UK, Nigerians in the UK do some of this crime. In fact, Nigerians are all over the world, everywhere. And now, if anything happens now, what are Nigerians known for? People will easily tell you fraud. Number three impact on Nigerians in diaspora based on the action of this guy. Damage to trust and reputation. Nigerian professionals and entrepreneurs may experience loss of credibility, especially when handling money or confidential information. Employers and institutions may subconsciously view Nigerian credentials or references as less trustworthy. No be today. Oluwole. Policy level consequences. One, the US could tighten access to public benefit programs or financial assistance for immigrants. And also, it can lead to a bilateral diplomatic pressure on Nigeria to monitor its citizens abroad more closely. Social isolation and discrimination towards Nigerians. Community reputational damage. Nigerian community associates and churches might have to publicly denounce the actions to avoid collective blame. I've not seen any churches ever denounce. So it also creates a burden of constant explanation or distancing from the few bad people. So a little summary of what that impact will be on Nigerians in diaspora is this fraud case doesn't just affect Precious and his wife alone. It casts a shadow over an entire diaspora working hard to succeed and live honorably wherever we may find ourselves. The broader Nigerian American community ends up paying a social, emotional, and even economic price for the criminal acts of a few people. So in a way, I'm compelled to have a kind of pity for the wife, because as it is, they both committed the crime together. They should be jailed together. But however, now her husband has been jailed for 9 years. She has a 9-month-old baby. Yes, she's going to have maybe conjugal visits. She'll be able to take the baby to go see her father, but that's going to be that child not seeing his dad or her father every day for 9 years. So it's going to grow without seeing his or her dad for 9 years. And she has been made an impromptu single mother, toiling and caring for a child on her own. So yeah, she's going to have an emotional trauma and family separation. She knew, she lay her bed and she will lie on it. She's also, like I said, suddenly become a single mother. She's going to have to care for that child up until Precious is being released. And guess what? Precious, her husband, is going to be deported back to Nigeria. So which means that she's going to continue her single motherhood even after he comes out of prison. Legal uncertainty for the wife. Yes, so we don't know now. Maybe if by the time Precious comes out of jail and he gets deported, we don't know if this is going to impact the wife or not. Maybe they might say, okay, both of you are husband and wife, or yeah, both of you go back to Nigeria. Also, financial instability. I know life as a single parent, especially in diaspora, is not easy. I know friends who are single parents and I know how they struggle. So for her now, she's in the US, she's going to be a single parent. Financial issues, how is she going to cope? Especially maybe they have some of these funds start somewhere, but with all of the money that the US government has asked them to pay back, I doubt that. Also, social stigma. I don't think that should bother her, because like I said, she knew what she was getting into with her husband. Also, long-term psychological impact on the child. Children have higher chances of behavioral issues, risk of dropping out of school, often experience anxiety, anger. But like I said, she knew both she and her husband knew this before they started going into crime, ATM crime. Summary: while Promise faces jail, his wife and baby face a silent sentence, one of instability, separation, stigma, and lifelong emotional toll. It's a powerful reminder that crime doesn't just punish the guilty, it wounds the entire family. What does Nigeria have to offer Precious when he gets back to Nigeria? So Nigeria will not reward him, they will not rescue him or rehabilitate him. He's going to be thrown back to the life he left, to come to diaspora, to start living a life of fraud. Hence why the last video I made, I was like, you know what, I don't understand how some people will leave Nigeria. You live the kind of condition, I don't know whatever condition he had, but whatever condition that you might have had which made you leave Nigeria to come there, to come to the US or to the UK, and you now chose a life of fraud or more, I don't have pity for you. So Nigeria is not going to help him. Nigeria is not going to rehabilitate him. He's going to be thrown back to square one of the life he was living, regardless if it was good or bad, before he came to the US. So his deportation will mark the beginning of a hard and a very lonely chapter, especially if his wife does not go back with him. The system does not favor deportees because you are starting from the scratch. You can't be an American and where they come report back to Nigeria, where they deport back to Nigeria. I just can't imagine what that life will be with him, for him, especially not fraud convicts, the likes of Hush Puppy. Hush Puppy is still in the US jail, and I know that even while Hush Puppy is still in jail, we've been heard allegedly that one is still living a life of big boy, and his survival will depend on humility, repentance, and luck. And also, in a sane country, you would imagine that the immigration will want to question him, like, okay, Oloboju Waje, you go spoil our face for America. You will expect that they will interrogate him, to question him as to what he's done, his impact, his actions, if he has any money stashed. But like we know, I know Nigerian authorities believe that he committed cybercrime or used Nigerian infrastructure for fraud, he could be rearrested, which is what should happen in normal sane world. But we don't know if Nigerian government would ever do that. Maybe he might struggle to rebuild his life again. Like I said, we don't know. Maybe they've been able to recoup all of those money from him. But yes, with life going back to Nigeria without nothing. And also, I don't think there's a lot of NGOs in Nigeria like that will help in rehabilitating people that were deported. So he's going to face a very, very long and hard struggle when he gets back home to Nigeria. And also, people like him who commit fraud, before they get arrested, is their type that will go on luxury holidays, live flashy lifestyles, show off their luxury bags, luxury houses, go to parties, wear designer stuff, and people will be like, oh God, when? But you will not know these are the proceeds of crime, proceeds of fraud, process of how they've been able to maim other people from gaining access to that funds that were meant to help vulnerable people. And also, like I said, I think something has to change in Nigeria. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I think that there should be some sort of check that if you've been abroad for a long time and you're coming back home, because the likes of him, assuming he was not caught now, he has made all of that money. The likes of him will now come back home to Nigeria to come and be holding public office. Some of them will want to be a senator. Some of them want to be a governor. They want to be House of Representative. You guys remember that senator I cited, ethics chairman, commenting in the House of Senate. He defrauded somebody in the US allegedly, and is in the House of Senate. Can you imagine? So in an advanced world, you would imagine that they will have like a database. I think this is me suggesting now that I think either maybe INEC should have like a database that will record every details of every Nigerians that were deported from wherever in the world. So if they deport you back, your name will automatically go into a system, what country you were deported from, what did you do, why were you deported, so that we know that if you are coming in 20 years time to come and apply for a political role or a governmental role in Nigeria, we will know, because people like that should not even be a part of the government at all. But yeah, we have examples of people like that in Nigeria who are governors allegedly, who have committed fraud or who have committed crimes at some point in their life out of Nigeria, and they're now back in Nigeria in a governmental role. And also, guys, do you agree? I think also EFCC, when these people are being returned back home to Nigeria, I think EFCC needs to be shaming them. The way the EFCC will carry placard and give people when they arrest them for fraud and crime like that. I think EFCC should actually have a profile as well. Like, okay, you get deported, you carry placard, this was your offense. And like I said, that you would imagine that the Nigerian government will, interrogate someone like him. Okay, you were arrested for fraud. Let EFCC, put your face on the placard there. Guys, let me know your thought and opinion in the comment section in regards to the points I raised in this video. Like I said, if you don't want to do time, avoid committing the crime. And also, this suggestion of there should be a database that people who have been deported, because people live like me now. I've been in abroad, I've been in diaspora for 20 years. To God be the glory, I have not committed any crime. So God forbid now my enemy gets deported back home to Nigeria. There should be a database to say, okay, so person has been away for so time, now deported, this is a crime, blah blah blah. God forbid that be me. But there should be a system that any Nigerian that has been out of the country for that amount of years, if they ever get deported back, there should be a database with their names on it, because we don't want criminals ruling our country. We don't want criminals in official governmental roles. We don't want criminals who have embezzled funds in diaspora to come back to Nigeria and start be throwing lavish style, living lavishly, throwing parties, not knowing that all they are showcasing are all processes of fraud. Guys, let me know what your thoughts and opinion are based on this story that I have shared with you. Do you agree that deportees who have bourgeoisie in diaspora should be named and shamed once they get back home? And if you've watched this video, why have you not subscribed to my channel yet? Guys, subscribe and let us rub our minds based on topics like this. Like I told you guys, me bringing these stories is not because I'm happy bringing these stories, but there are some good Nigerians who do good in diaspora, and there are some bad ones, and it's the bad ones I'm going to be coming out here to showcase to you that these are the Nigerians that are putting our faces in the mud, because it's not giving us a good name as Nigerians. I was watching Adiola Firewood's video of how she got deported. Can you imagine how they rated Nigerian passports? Can you imagine how they rated Nigerian passports? That video of us spoke a lot of volume. With that being said, guys, this is where I'm going to hand my quote. Leave your thought and opinion in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Or suggestions, what could be done, what could be done to make Nigeria better. I'll be reading your comments. And with that being said, if you've watched this video till now and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notification, share this video, do not hesitate to join my membership, and you can watch this video and you can watch this one as well, and you can watch other videos as well, and I will see you in another one. All right, bye for now. Bye.